This is the Cinematography for Actors podcast.
More than a podcast, CFA is a vibrant community devoted to bridging the gap between talent and crew. Each week, our show offers transparent, insightful conversations with industry leaders. We unveil the magic behind the scenes, from candid discussions about unique filmmaking processes to in-depth technical exploration.
Join us in unraveling the intricacies of filmmaking one episode at a time. It's more than just cameras and lenses over here. We aim to inspire, educate, and empower as we peel back the curtain on the art of effective storytelling.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. All right. As a DP, I know purchasing gear can kind of be a nightmare. Whether you're talent or crew, finding technical solutions to any of your problems can be very challenging. And what's even harder is knowing where to go. So we have an answer for you. Head over to BandPro, one of our incredible sponsors here at CFA. Whether you're looking for high-end cameras and lenses or looking for guidance on what is needed to get started on this equipment journey of yours, BandPro has the gear and team that you need to thrive in your own career.
They are the exclusive representative of Ingenue's complete cinema line for all of North and South America, and their customer support is fantastic. Not only do they have a great team to answer any product question you might have, but they also have a talented team of in-house technicians that you can actually talk to get your equipment back up and running.
Which is really important, especially if you're on set. So,
Yeah.
Bonus. Go to bandpro.com or stop in at their location in Burbank, and please make sure to say hi from CFA because we love them
Hi
so very
from
much.
us.
Yeah, hello. Thanks, everyone. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another CFA episode here at AFI FEST. We are live from the VIP lounge at the TCL Chinese, and we are very excited to be joined by two wonderful filmmakers who have had their world premiere yesterday, actually, of Backbone, an AFI thesis film that is screening here at AFI FEST. We are joined by Adrien Hoppenot, the producer, and Natalie Jones, our DP. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Good to see you. Now, before we get into kind of the nitty-gritty of the technical, practical, creative, can we talk about what Backbone is about?
Absolutely.
Great.
Backbone is about a teenager, about 17, 18, who has a broken back, and he lives with his very domineering alcoholic mother who doesn't feel a lot of empathy for him. And so he's deteriorating. She cannot retire because he cannot work. And one day she has this burst of empathy for a dog that gets kicked in the street, and she decides to take the dog in, and it triggers a lot of bad consequences that the son, the main character, Cole, is going to have to deal with to earn the love of his mom.
Wow. And so how did you both find your way to this story?
So it's an autobiographical story
Yes.
by the director, Lucas Ames, who's a co-writer and director. I had collaborated with him on one of my shorts that he directed, a short that I pitched during my first year at AFI. And when, of course, came the time to talk about thesis, it came pretty naturally that we worked together. We had a lot of common European inspirations. And yeah, the fact that the story was autobiographical really touched me. We talked a lot about the movies by Lionel Ramsey, like Ratcatcher or the Dardenne brothers. Rosetta was a very big inspiration. So yeah, doing this type of coming of age, which is a very American tradition, but with a more grounded, Dardenne-like approach, really made me come on board first, and then we got Natalie on board.
Oh, hell yeah,
Natalie.
Natalie. How'd you get on board?
That's a good question. I don't. I mean, well, yeah. So the thing that they worked on together, I worked on too, just as a grip, actually.
Key grip.
It's key grip. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Please. Yeah,
Okay,
key grip.
credit.
Yeah.
Key grip, guys.
Yeah.
Get the credit.
Exactly. It was good. And then Adrien, we obviously knew each other from school, but you were running around a ton, and there were a lot of weird requests we had to make about where to put gear and everything, and Adrien was always like, I'm on it. So I was like, he's great.
Yeah.
I'd heard about him being like a fantastic producer, and I was like, I really see it with the grip help. Anyway, but Lucas too was great. Yeah, I was just a fan of his style. I'd seen a few things that he's made as well. And then when we did like an interview, it was like, seemed like it was meant to be. At least I
Honestly.
thought.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you guys were like, ugh.
Oh no, that's really how it felt. I mean, I
Yeah.
saw when you guys were talking, during the crafty pauses during the short that he directed that I had pitched, that they got along very well, and they talked about like technical stuff, like the lenses they
Yeah.
seemed to be in accord. I didn't understand, but I saw the synchronicity, so I was very happy.
Yeah. Now, for you mentioned Lynn Ramsey for some references for the DP style. It is a very specific shooting style. Did you employ a lot of those techniques of kind of more obscure framing or locked off camera, or like knowing motivated when to push in and when that's going to happen? Or...
Yeah, a lot of these things we watched a ton of references. Lucas is a big fan of references, which is great, honestly, because you kind of have to learn how your director communicates, and I think he communicates through showing art and expressing what he feels about it all the time, and then you learn how to say like, oh, okay, I think when he says this, I think what he means is this one shot, which conveys this type of feeling, and so it was pretty fun. And then yeah, we basically just developed this visual language through watching these references, talking to you about a lot of cinema that I was not familiar with like, at all.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from this whole entire team and experience.
That's great.
Yeah. And I think traditionally I haven't really shot as much like slower type cinema, pretty much, and done a language that kind of doesn't give us so much access to the character immediately, and really actually holds off on the access of him until really particular moments that show that our character's actually quite vulnerable.
For that connective tissue and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. And we wanted to make it really important the moments that the son and the mother do actually connect.
Yeah.
Because their whole entire story is kind of about this not seemingly tumultuous relationship, but about how you love someone so much and you do anything for them, but they cause you a lot of pain. And we had to show why you would do these things for somebody, and that there actually is love there. And so we had to be really specific about picking those moments.
Incredible.
So how did you do that technically? Like, what were your plans with gear to make that happen?
Yeah, so ours, it was funny actually, Adrien, we like kind of put him through the ringer, I feel like, or maybe we're about to.
Yeah.
There was a lot of, at first we wanted really big, grandiose things.
Right.
And then as we narrowed down what we really wanted, we realized it was much more simple and a much simpler way to execute it. Like Lucas and I talked about fireworks a bit and a crane. I sent you photos of a giant crane. I was like, this is it. This is what we need. And you were like,
Pleasure to receive as a producer.
Yeah. There was a lot of like a lot of that. I was like, it's a no. I think it's a big no.
The positivity though was impactful. That's good. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, really luckily, telling a simple story, sometimes when you're shooting something in a seemingly simple cinematic style, you still need very not simple things behind the scenes in terms of gear. However, for us, ours was awesome. We were locked off for most of it. So we had that. We had a dolly slider, I think. And then we did Steadicam for this chase scene. And that's the one thing I would have done a little differently. Yeah,
because they're moving quite quickly in a chase scene. So was there running and then a Steadicam operator also running?
Yeah.
Leading or following?
No,
backwards?
He was doing both quite well, I might add. He was this great operator we've worked with. Quite a few of us. I don't know if his name's been mentioned. He's this guy, Raphael. He's a badass. Ostrom, I think. Anyway,
Von Ostrom.
Yeah, Von
big
Ostrom.
cinephile. Yeah.
Look him up. He's great. Anyway, but he really, we were sprinting with the camera, and I just think I miscalculated how we did so many long takes and long shots, and obviously when you don't cut, you really got to nail it first time.
Right.
So doing a chase scene with very few cuts means you should have a plan that's not just a Steadicam op who's sprinting all day.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It can be a lot.
So is that what you learned, or is that something you figured out while you were doing it?
That's something I figured out. I think I figured out the human capacity with carrying tons of gear,
Okay.
I thought I kind of knew also, but I also figured out that there are superhumans named Raphael who can do insane things running around with the camera.
Yeah.
But I think in the future, learning experience, you want to work smarter, not harder type deal.
Yeah.
Try and plan.
Now, Adrien, what are you hoping, or what have been the biggest audience takeaways for this film?
Interesting. And then it's about empathy for people who are in tough situations, both emotionally and physically, and about patience also. I feel like at the beginning of the short, Cole is a very like he's alone, he's by himself, he's stuck, and he's a bit impatient maybe with his mom. But going through this trial, through his chase, through this moment where he figures that he's limited physically, in the end, it's not because of the pain that he earned his mother's love, but it's just because he tried in a way. So it's just about caring, empathy, and in the end, it's a very simple story, and we narrowed it down. Like it's funny when Natalie was saying that. Yeah, at first, like it was very big scale, and we were supposed to shoot like in the middle of like many places at night. But in the end, we narrowed it down to just the house and the park, like really like the inside and the outside, like the family and this other character and the dog, and what's outside and what can come inside at the end, the dog, or what must remain outside.
Amazing. Now, talking about learning moments, we have to wrap things up, but let's do like one learning moment for each of your jobs. So as a producer and as a DP, what's like your hot tip that an audience member can listen to and take with them for their next project?
I was really hoping you. I was like, Adrien's got it.
It's all about, once again, patience and empathy. And it's not about like manipulating, but it's about, of course, knowing how to touch the right strings and how to be patient. It's about really knowing when to seize the moment to do what you need to do. And in the end, it's just about I like as a producer, it's all about you're not a part of the band, but you're kind of laying the rails so that the train can roll. And so you must lead them very carefully, and you must make sure that everything is safe and that people can work in a way that they feel confident. In the end, it's all about like making the shoot a good experience for everyone.
I feel safe already. That was great.
Yeah. It's very easy to feel safe with
the
the
train can
I
roll
love it.
safely.
Yeah. Natalie, how about you?
I would say you get a producer that makes you feel that way, that you just naturally feel that way around.
Yes.
I feel like making a movie is so weird because it's it's very professional and impersonal, and then insanely personal at the same time. So you really have to go through a lot of emotions, and so I feel like having surrounding yourself with people that make you feel safe enough to be able to express all those things or really feel out certain things, so you can figure out what to put in our movie and be vulnerable, is insanely important. Particularly like with me and crew, I guess something I learned is that there were moments where I was like, I don't know, I don't know what I'm doing. But there were moments where I straight up was like, I'm at a loss. I have no idea how to solve this problem at all.
Yeah.
And I had an awesome team. My gaffer, Sarah Megacy. We had our camera operator, Leo, and Matt Klepner is one of them. And basically all of them just, I think, surround yourself with people that feel safe enough to come to you and give you advice, or to bring their ideas to the table because they know that you'll respect them and listen to them. To me, that was the thing I learned the most. Is I was like, wow, I think that's the superpower and what you need on. That's the secret sauce or whatever.
Fantastic.
That's stupid to say.
All about the sauce.
All about the sauce.
I love it. Well, both of those tips and tricks are excellent and wonderful. Rely on your team, and kind of when you're at a loss, it's okay because
okay
you
to say
hopefully
that.
support yourself you surround yourself with a team of people that can help you get there.
Yeah.
And then also lay the guidelines to get there as well, and be tender
Beautiful.
and careful and patient and
Patient,
empathize.
empathetic.
Yeah.
Empathetic.
I know I have to work on empathy. Anyways, this has been two of the team members, filmmakers from Backbone. We have Adrien Hoppenot. Did I get it?
Got it.
Okay, cool. Producer, and Natalie Jones, DP. Thanks, guys, so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so
See
much.
you later.
And watching.
Bye.
Join us in bridging the gap between talent and crew. Start by subscribing on your preferred podcast platform. Sign up for our newsletter to stay up to date on vendor discounts, community events, new podcast releases, and you can educate yourself through our free course releases on YouTube.
It all starts at cinematographyforactors.com, and if you like this episode, consider leaving a review to make it easier for fine folks just like yourself to find us. We have some super exciting news. CFA has teamed up with We Make Movies to offer you a discount on production management services, including access to comprehensive production insurance, workers' comp for your next shoot. All you have to do is visit wemakemovies.com/insurance and use code CFA23 on your intake form for 10% off your quote.
Also, we've just partnered with We Audition, which I'm sure you know I'm very excited about, to offer you 25% off your membership. Use code CFA25 to get that membership for only $7.50 a month. or $75 a year.